Would you like to buy some houses for as little as 10 grand that could be worth 100 or 200,000 bucks? Is this a mythical creature that exists just in the internet YouTubes, or is it real? Well, today we're going to show you two of our favorite tax deed states where things like this can be possible if you know the right location, where to go, and how to do it. Tax lien and deed investing is an amazing opportunity, but the average person doesn't know how it works, and they miss out on literally life-changing deals. So if you've been spinning your wheels, maybe you want to get into real estate to create some residual income, flip a property, this is the place to do it. And today we're going to reveal to you exactly our two favorite states, where and how to do this stuff, so you can scoop up some of these dirt cheap properties and not be left on the sideline, and maybe use this as a tool to escape the old 9-to-5 day job of doom. If that's something that you're not happy with, real estate's one of the best ways to do it. And you can put an end to the endless content without action, as we're going to show you real deals that you can take action on, and not just some hypothetical. These are properties coming up for sale. Many of these have already sold, so we're excited to do that. It's Dustin Hahn here, and this channel is dedicated to helping investors get into real estate. We have the most videos on tax lien and deed investing, over 3,600 videos on this channel to help people get started. And our goal here is to make tax lien and deed investing accessible to everybody through our videos, through our content, to be able to give you the opportunity to also take some action and get into this game. So we're just going to cut the fluff. We're going to dive into it right now. I'm going to bring in the boys. We just did a bunch of push-ups to get ready to go. How's it go, guys?
Howdy.
Good. Corey, how many
good.
push-ups did you get in before we went live?
I'm not going to tell it because you guys are way higher, so it wasn't as much as you guys.
So for anybody tuning in, it's what we do before we click the live button. We try to bang out some push-ups and beat our personal records. Mine was 29 this time. I've done better. I've done worse. Not too bad. Josh got some guns. He can get the push-ups going. Josh, what was your number?
I stopped at 31.
Oh, stop there. Corey, can't tell, but he's literally 7 feet tall. So basically like an airplane doing push-ups. So
yeah, longer lever.
Anything over 10 is great.
Yeah.
So let's just get into it, Josh. Let's hop to the screen, show these guys some of our favorite counties. We'll also show you how we do this with using some AI. So if you have your appropriate screen, Josh, we can switch it over.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so we are actually huge fans of Pennsylvania. So we do virtual auction training in Philadelphia each month. They've got a ton of inventory there. But what we haven't talked about before are some of the regular sales that happen in Pennsylvania. So I had the AI actually go through previous results so that it can actually look at real-time data to give us the top 3 tax deed counties in Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania is one of our favorite states. We'll uncover the second one here in a little bit, but you can see that the AI is pulling previous sales. And so, for instance, it's got this one here. It found a property that sold for 16.5, another one that sold for 33, 1.265 acres for 19K. And so it was running through all of these different counties. Here it found a property for 2,500, 16,500. Here's one that had an ARV north of 300K, sold for 81,000. And so it actually was going through previously sold results to give us the top 3 here. And let me go ahead and share those with you today. So the first is Lehigh County, which is, I guess, the city of Allentown, and you got the strong suburbs there. So looking through the final results of the PDF at previously sold property, there are tons of recent wins that show tiny buy-ins and higher end suburban plays. So we got a couple examples here. 219 East Mountain Road in Salisbury Township sold for 16.5. We've got 8742, maybe Beanin. What do you guys think? I have no idea actually. Yeah, that's a tough one. But that one sold for 2,500. And then upper tier comp zone, 2120 Turnberry, 81K. And so then it gives us some links there, a final results PDF. And so an auction like that is going to be a smoke show of a deal. The fact that you can get a house for 2,500 bucks is outrageous. And we've had a couple students of ours as well do the same thing, attend auctions in Pennsylvania. Some of the highlights for this year in 2025 would be one individual who bought a over-the-counter mobile home for like $250 after title and closing costs and fees, all in about 800 to 1,000, sold for 15 grand. Then took that, went to another auction in Pennsylvania, and with like $5,000 bought 2 mobile homes and then a piece of land with a garage. So needless to say, Pennsylvania is awesome, especially these kind of auctions like Lehigh County. Second example, Luzerne County. And why? Why do we like it? High volume, very transparent results sheets. So for us, we want to be able to access the data easily. And so the last sale was August 7th, 2025. Judicial sale, we got some wild results. We got 35 grand, 6,500. We've even got some stuff going for $1,300 to $5,000, which is amazing. And so auctions like this, Lehigh, auctions like Luzerne, these are ones that you want to go ahead and put on your radar for next year. So August 7th, it's not that far away, and you can put this on your radar, do some due diligence, get prepared, register for the auction, and actually get some life-changing gains, which is pretty incredible. A small example would be the one that we talked about where there was property that sold for $2. We talked about it, I don't know, maybe 6, 7, 8 months ago. And that auction happened this year. And if you put it on your radar, you would have been able to get land for like $160. So it definitely pays off to make notes of this stuff and then look at it in the future. Third one that we got is incredibly investor friendly. Low buy-ins for houses, lots, and buildings. Great for quick flips or cheap rentals. And that is Crawford County. So you got another examples, properties, buildings selling for 8 grand, 14 grand. We got 1.26 acres with a building on it sold for 19 grand. So these are incredibly good. This is where you can get stuff for less than 20 cents on the dollar, sometimes 10 cents on the dollar, and occasionally even less than 10 cents on the dollar. And so this one did happen in April 2025. So you can see you got April, you've got August. I don't see December. Yeah, December 6th. So Lehigh may actually be coming up in a few months, maybe a month or two. So this is definitely one that you want to keep on your radar. But here are 3 examples of where you can get property in the tax deed space for less than 10 cents on the dollar or around 10 cents on the dollar. And so it's still happening today. A lot of folks that watch the videos and they say, hey, there's too much competition out there. Everything's getting bid up. But that's not the case everywhere. You just have to know where the right places are. And here we've cherry picked 3 examples for you, all in Pennsylvania.
Nice. Welcome everybody who is tuning in. Today we're going over our top 2 tax deed states that we really love, breaking it down into specific counties for you guys and showing you really like the day in the life of tracking down these properties, putting these auctions on your radar, and how to really build your own kind of fishing holes for these properties. We have 35 or 3,300 counties that we go to for these, and we're always referring to the directories for pulling these. So this is always in the description below. Make sure to get it if you want to call these counties as well. That is in the description. You guys can get that there. And the stream's starting to fill up. So let's say hello to everybody. Let us know who's here, who's tuning in, what's your name and your city, state, because we tailor the streams to you guys. Yesterday we were live, and where did we go, Josh, on the fly? I think we went to was it Minnesota?
Wow. Maryland.
Maryland. That's right. We did a deep dive into that. So we'll just say hello. What's happening, James? Good to see you here. TFB member. What's happening? Who is this one? TFB member.
I don't know.
We don't have your name. Pocket size treasure.
The YouTube handle.
Yes, exactly. How you doing, Dave? We haven't seen you in a while. It's good to see you. Let's see. Do these happen? Yes. Many of these will be yearly, but many of these will be monthly. We will go through these here as we go. And let's see. It sure feels like there's too much competition. Let's see. Some people are overpaying. So that's the thing. You'll go to these auctions. Sometimes there might be a lot of competition. Sometimes people might overpay. But that's why there are so many of these. There's millions of these properties. And our goal is to give you guys the skills and the tools to be able to navigate all of this. So we're starting to see some folks hop on. Alex, what's happening here currently in Puerto Rico? but live mostly in New Jersey. We talked about New Jersey yesterday, what's happening in California. And if you're tuning in from, what was I going to say? I forgot where I was going there with that one. The brain just slipped away. Oh, yeah. Tell us where you're tuning in from, because that helps us customize the stream and things like that. And ask any questions. We will get to those questions there as well to dive in. So let's go now to one of our other favorite tax deed states that has some amazing deals in the works so that you guys can find some of these properties.
All right. So yeah, if you're just tuning in here to the stream, we highlighted and showcased 3 counties in Pennsylvania that have exceptional deals, really good plays for just buying property at a steep discount, 10, 20 cents on the dollar, offloading it. That way you don't have to do any work, no remodeling, no rehab, just buy and sell as is. So we highlighted 3 there. If you didn't see those yet, you got to go back to the beginning of the stream. Okay, we got a couple special treats for you here in Texas. I'm going to show you 2 things. One, I'm going to show you this website, Linebarger. That's it, right?
Linebarger. We've looked it up.
We don't really know.
We shall call it Linebarger.
Yeah.
I just had watched a pronunciation on that, and I forget already. All right, so we'll show you 2 things. One of the great websites that you can use in Texas is going to be taxsales.lgbs.com. And so they handle a lot of the tax sales in Texas. And the interesting thing is that if you try to go to Harris County right now and look at upcoming auctions, there's actually going to be nothing there. So if I go Harris County tax sale list, click this link, here we go. Nothing here yet. And so it takes a little bit of time to fill this out. The next sale is October 7th. But if you want to get a jump ahead of everybody else, if you want to see what is actually upcoming here, a lot of these auctions are done by Linebarger. And so the cool thing is we can go ahead and look at October 7th, and we can actually see all of the properties that they are doing for Houston and Dallas-Fort Worth. What I like even more about this website is then you can actually organize this by opening bid. And so if I come in here, I've got it sorted by minimum bid already. And so you can see the first one, 2705 Avenue B, opening bid 1362, a judge value 64,000. Click details here. You can see this one is coming up for Fort Worth, land improvement, homestead, sold subject to 2024 taxes. That just means it's not including the 2024 taxes. There is a improvement on this structure, and it's homesteaded. So if you're not too sure what that means, it just means that it's their primary residence. It's their home. They've declared it. They've done a little bit of paperwork for that. So they get some extended benefits. One of them being that they've got 2 years to redeem this property. First year is 25% interest penalty on top of what you pay. If they do it in the second year, that's a 50% interest penalty. So that's really, really juicy numbers. We're a huge fan of numbers like that. We've got 1.6 on the 64K, also in Dallas-Fort Worth. Here is an absolutely outrageous, insane spread. This is 6135 El Granat Drive in Houston, Texas. Opening bid of 1734 with an adjudged value of $194,000. So incredible. This one is scheduled for October 7th. So that's next month. And so even before Harris County has got these properties online and available to look at, you can come here into Linebarger and you can actually see what's going on. They've got sale location. So this is still in person. They've got a little bit of information about how you can pay, things like that. And there's so many phenomenal deals here that are upcoming. And so these are 2 counties that consistently have good properties each month. And so there is a little bit of competition at Houston. There's a little bit of competition at Dallas, but these actually do go in ebbs and flows. So when we were there in January, that was probably when the best deals were there. This was hot after, the holidays, and there wasn't a whole lot of competition there. Another good auction was just the one that had happened this week. So Monday was Labor Day holiday. And so Tuesday, there was actually a lot less competition than the month before. So if you came in August, your opinion of the Houston auction would be vastly different from someone who came in September. There's someone with us this month who also came last month, and they had expressed that the experience was just totally different because there was way less competition. I think August, there was a couple buses that had come in as well. There was a lot of stuff going on, and September, a lot of that thinned out. Same thing with December. So these things do have ebbs and flows. So before you're quick to write off a county, a good idea to go through a couple of months there, show up and see what property sells for. In January, we saw 30 to 50 cents on the dollar. So 30 cents on the dollar is exceptional, especially a property like that where the opening bid is $1,700, a judged value 194,000, huge spread. But a property like this may sell in August or July for a much higher price. And so they really do go in ebbs and flows. And it's just really about showing up and taking action. But this is where you can find all of these auctions. And so the other thing that we like about the monthly auctions is that if you strike out 1 month, it's just 30 days until the next auction. You can come back. So if you're pretty close to getting something, in May, you come back in June because they've got so much inventory. And that's one of the things that we love about both of these auctions. You can come here on Line Barger, see them before the county even has this data available to the public, and start doing your due diligence.
Nice. Maybe we take a couple minutes here and talk about some of the dangers at these auctions. And then from there, I think yesterday you shared a really good tip on kind of the precincts in Texas. But let's talk about some of the big dangers here and what you guys need to avoid and be aware of when it comes to going and buying these properties. And once again, as we're making these trainings, we're always going off of our internal playbook here, the ABCs. So this is for free below for everybody. So when you go and find these sales, it has all of the forms, all of the sheets you go through. And we have our due diligence checklist in all of these that you go through. So we always have this stuff handy for ourselves every single day. So in every video, we tell you to go get it. It is one of the most valuable free resources that you can use. And from here, when you're getting started, if maybe you want to know if you're in a tax lien or a deed state, on our site, Tax Lien School, we have all of the maps for free so that you can get help and decide and figure out where you want to go. So that stuff is in the description below. And if you ever want to join us at a sale, you can schedule a free call and we can see if it's a fit. So, just to be fully transparent here with everybody, as we like to do, because, just like you, the same way you want to make money, we like making money too. So we do that through real estate and full transparency. We try to give away as much value as possible, more than anybody else when it comes to tax liens and deeds. And then we have a business where people come and join us at auctions, or we build them AIs. So it is a business as well, calling a spade there. So many people are I just love XYZ insert, when really they're not being transparent. So we like to be transparent. It raises all the boats in the water, helps you save some time, whether you're using our books or coming with us. And then we often end up teaming up with people on great deals as well. So, I recommend everybody start a YouTube channel. It can be a great thing for business. So some of the things you need to be aware of when it comes to going to these auctions, and I think Josh really boiled it down one day. He said, just because a property is going to a tax, just because a property is at a tax auction does not mean it's a tax auction property. And we see this quite often in places like Texas because the sheriff is auctioning off tax delinquent property and homeowner association property. So in Texas, there's tons of homeowner associations. And if they are delinquent on their homeowner association taxes and dues, they can sell that at the same auction that they'll get the sheriff to sell that property. And the mistake people make is they think they're bidding on a tax auction property that's going to wipe out a mortgage, but they are bidding on a homeowner association property where they inherit the mortgage. So we've seen people, on $100,000 or $200,000 property, basically lose their butt. Maybe they think they got a deal for 50 grand on a $200K property, but they don't realize there's a $200,000 mortgage on it. And then they're upside down right out of the gate. So you really need to be paying attention to is this a homeowner association property? Keep that in mind because we don't want to see you make a mistake. And that's why we always tell you to read the book or book a call or watch our videos, because we've seen it many times where people will come to us, they didn't read the book. They just went to the auction and, went full cowboy. They bid on something. They had no idea what it was. They're in over their head. And then they want our help to try to fix it. And, we do our best to try to fix it. But you know, they made the mistake from the beginning of not educating themselves out of the gate to find out if it was the right property. So always be aware of that. The next thing to be aware of is like county liens on a property. So for example, if the county's been cutting the grass or has done garbage removal or something, look for the county liens because those don't get wiped out. We've seen on these sessions properties with county liens for as much as like 40, 50,000 bucks. So keep an eye out for those as well. And guys, if you like this stuff, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up on the video. Let's see who's tuning in. Let's see here. We have Day tuning in. Ask your questions in the comments. We will get to all of the questions here. Chemo, welcome. Got some questions. What's happening, Gus? Good to see you from Maricopa County. Tuning in. Excellent. And Joel in Maryland. Anybody who's here, let us know in the comments who's here. And remember, the other day, actually, it was yesterday, I gave a challenge to people to go call some counties. So I'm curious who joined the challenge yesterday, called some counties, and took action. So also let us know in the comments what's happening, Yosef, what's happening, Jeff. Josh, the other red flag that I mentioned, so we talked about the, what do you call it? The HOA. Yeah, and then we were going to go into another one, but it's already slipped my mind.
Oh, could be taxes. Doesn't include all the taxes.
Yes. Maybe we chat about that a little bit here.
Yeah, I got my max bid sheet here as well from the auction. So this was from just a few days ago. And so yeah, as Dustin said, with the HOAs, the mortgages do not get wiped. And so, you know, we drove maybe 20 of the they're just called execution sales. And so they don't really say anything about it, whether it's a tax sale or an execution sale. They don't give any details. You can see here we had 4 execution sales. One of them had like a $97,000 mortgage, $47,000 mortgage, and $70,000 mortgage. And then one of them had no mortgage. So we just subtracted that from our max bid sheet. And so even with these mortgages, I mean, this one was worth $375,000. So with the $97,000 mortgage and then 100 grand in rehab, we were still able to put a bid on it, but it did get canceled at the last minute. But yeah, we just subtracted from our max bid sheet, and that makes it okay. But the other thing that you always got to look out for in Texas is maybe it's possible that not all of the taxes are included in the opening bid. And so this one that we looked at earlier is a great example, the one that has an opening bid of, I think it was like $1,000 and it's worth 197K. We just showed it a little bit ago. Let me find that opening bid. Right. Okay. 167. Yeah, I think that was it. Okay. So you got this property with an opening bid of 2.5K and then a judge value of $167,000. And so if you look at this right here, one of the things they say is special instructions. There may be additional taxes due on the property which have been assessed since the date of the judgment. So in kind of plain terms, what this means is that sometimes in Texas, not all of the taxes are in the opening bid, which you could kind of make sense of in this, because if the property is worth $167,000, a couple years of taxes should be more than that, more than 2.5. And the way that you can tell that is see this case number right here. This is the year that they first became delinquent. So, you know, the first 4 digits is the year, and then this would be the rest of the case ID. So you got case number. Really just pay attention to the first 4 digits. So what that means is they stopped paying taxes in 2017. And for some reason, for a lot of reasons, one or the other, it's finally going to the tax sale. So most likely for this property, the opening bid wouldn't include everything. And so that's what you got to look out for in Texas. And these case numbers are going to be what protects you. So 2020 right here, a little bit fresher, right? This could include everything. You've got 2020, you've got 2020, 2023. So the closer to the current day, the closer it is to the present, less risk. So 2023, that's great. We're liking that. 2017, though, that's a little ways back. So it's going to require more due diligence. And you just have to accommodate that against your max bid. So those are really two huge things to look out for in Texas. Is this a tax sale, an HOA sale, and are all of the back taxes included in the opening bid?
Nice, good info. And welcome to the folks who are tuning in. Good to see you, Sam, Christine in Florida. Lots of good stuff. Josh, did we look at King County in Washington
Yeah,
last time?
yeah, we did. I think that was yesterday, maybe. We just showed it for a quick moment.
That's right. So yesterday, I think you were here yesterday, we dove into King County, Washington. And guys, this is why it's super important to put where you're tuning in from and who's here, because we can pivot on the fly, as this is a live stream. You know, we are not an AI generated live stream. We are the real deal on the fly is what we're doing.
Here, why don't we just do the real deal? So this is September 10th, coming up right away. This is really cool. So this is how you can utilize the power of technology to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. So this is actually a title search here on the right. This is pretty rare, but King County has decided for one reason or another to include all of these title searches for any kind of tax deed properties. So they shelled out maybe, $250, $300 for a title search, and those are all available to the public. So right here, I can go ahead, I can download that. And what I can do, just to save myself some time here, is I can go ahead, download this and upload it into our AI tool. So I'm going to open this up here, and we've got these like different like presets, you could call them. And so I can go to the appropriate one and go ahead and upload that, and really just have it give me legal advice, more or less, is what the name of the game is. So I downloaded that, I believe. Yeah, wait, that's terms of sale. No, I didn't download it. Let me go ahead, download it. There we go. Now I'm going to go ahead, use this one.
So what Josh has on his screen, so everybody can have access to ChatGPT, and you should be using it to help you out. We've went ahead and kind of programmed it for tax lien and deed investing, which helps us out quite a bit to do a lot of work. It saves a lot of time, a lot of money. You can get done in minutes what used to take hours, and it provides a massive advantage. So right now, Josh is putting the PDF in, and you can do this with ChatGPT as well. But when people ask questions as far as, what's on your screen, it is a modified version of ChatGPT that we've customized for tax lien and deed investing to help us out. So everybody here should be using like OpenAI, ChatGPT, things like that. And we're just showing you on our screen kind of what we use it for. And if you guys ever want one of these, we build them for you. So that's another part of what we do. We give away as much as we can. We give away the books, the trainings, show you guys exactly what to do. This is in the description below. And then if you want a personalized AI, we can build that for you as well. Or if you want to join us at these sales, you can click the link below for that. But Josh, let's see what this AI is showing us.
Okay. All right. So yeah, this sounds like a pretty wild deal. So there is a mortgage still on the property going up here, and we got 2 judgments as well. So this
Josh,
property's,
can you
yeah.
just share kind of what the AI has done here and how it's saved you time? Because a lot of people hear the buzzwords of AI everywhere, but they still don't know how to use it to help them make money or make their life easier. And what Josh just did is a massive example, because all of this would have to be manual, research. So maybe if you could just walk them through what the AI has done and helped you do.
Yeah, so I really just asked it to identify any red flags or legal concerns for this property. So then it gives me this property summary, then addressing, of course, red flags, legal concerns. So first it's identifying the delinquent taxes. And so good for investors seeking discounted properties, but expect substantial risk and cleanup obligations post-sale. So then it's looking at these active judgments. And so it does not automatically extinguish these 3. It's going to go through some code violations. It's found 2 liens. And so looks like it's identified ongoing scrutiny with the Department of Permitting and Environmental Review. And so you don't even need to necessarily be in King County, Washington to have a pulse on, the market or the pulse on these different departments, because the AI tool can do that for you and kind of identify what the issues are. Then it goes on to review. And so it's reviewing the document, kind of each page, and then highlighting any red flag. So it identifies the deed of trust. So it looks like there's a $205,000 deed of trust, which is still active. That's just a mortgage. So then it says, the legal consideration is to ensure that this interested party was given notice so that they are foreclosed on properly. And then also possession rights. So there's a known occupant at the property. It talks about if the occupant is the former owner or a tenant, post-sale eviction protections may apply. So then it actually gives us the assessed value, unpaid taxes. So it's significantly below market value, but it kind of highlights everything about, is this a good deal? So legal encumbrances are significant. You've got judgments, you've got municipal liens, occupancy, unknown risk. So eviction may be needed. And then environmental code history, a red flag there, but margin high. So high risk, high reward opportunity for experienced investors. This could be a strong value play, but due diligence is essential. So yeah, I think that's exactly spot on. Yeah, for new investors, this may be too complex and risky. And so some of these properties are going to open them up, and there's not going to be any of these. There's not going to be judgments. There's not going to be mortgages. There's not going to be municipal liens, code violations, environmental liens. So as far as complexity, this one's kind of checking all of the boxes. This has got a lot of stuff going on. Whereas there could be other properties that you open them up and there's nothing. There's nothing at all. There's no liens. There's no encumbrances, no judgments, no code violations, no municipal liens. It's just got the owner on it. And so, starting out, this may not be a property that you're interested in, or you could go ahead and you could start to communicate and see, what are the best measures to take to manage these risks and things like that. But yeah, it gives you then practical next steps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then a final reminder, which is exceptional, which is really, really good. And so the other thing that you could do is you could go ahead and you could upload the statutes. You could take a PDF of the statutes, upload it to here, and just confirm with it and verify and say, hey, the information that you gave me, can you go ahead, review the statutes, and let me know if you would change anything or if everything would stay the same. That would be a great deal. But it already looks like it's referencing the tax foreclosure law in Washington, which is exactly what we would want it to do. We would want it to reference the statutes and the laws, versus anything else out there. Looks like that's what it did. So yeah, and maybe, I don't know, that was like 25 seconds. It was able to give us all this information and review the title search. So very cool. You've got these title searches for every single one of these properties in King County. And whoa, look at this one. 80 grand worth 1.2 million. Yeah, this was the deal we looked at yesterday, right?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, so exceptional numbers. So maybe the title is quiet, maybe it's calm, or maybe it could be out of control, crazy. So you do have the title searches here, which is great. One other thing you could do is it's a great way to test your title skills by going ahead and doing the title search first on your own, and then going ahead and comparing it to the report that you get. And so if you find everything that's on the report, you're locked and loaded, you're ready to go. Or if you notice that there's a ton that is missing, you may need to then go back, get some coaching, training, get your skills up. Because yeah, the one that we looked at, this one is very, very, very busy. They're not all going to be like that, but they do happen.
Cool. So we just saw kind of how AI can really speed things up, and like this industry has changed so much. When I got into it now almost 22 years ago, like it was so much labor involved. You'd have to go and maybe order the list and they'd send it to you in the mail. And like when we would go to Texas, we'd show up and like literally the first day was taking the giant list. We get a whole map of the city, and then you would take your, your highlighter on the map on the bed, and you would highlight your route with like dots, dot, dot. And this stuff would take hours and hours to highlight the route on the map. You're staying up till midnight, getting all that done. And then the next day you're hopping in the car and driving around trying to navigate these maps. And then, I've mentioned this many times, in Texas, you miss one of the off ramps and then you're friggin' 15, 20 minutes just to turn around to try to get back. And then many times you double down and you do it again and you miss it. And then there's like 30 minutes just missed on one off ramp. So like these trips sometimes would take a week because it would take so long to do the research and you'd have to go into the county office. So this business has progressed quite a bit with the use of technology, which is awesome, but it's still a massive opportunity because it's not very well talked about and publicized. And the reason is because tax liens and deeds don't allow for third parties to come in and build a big billion-dollar industry around this. Like when you look at the real estate business as a whole, the realtor associations, there's a billion-dollar industry there, home insurance, things like that. There's all sorts of billion-dollar industries. The loan mortgages, another billion-dollar industry. So it's in their best interest to make things easy so they can make their commissions, make their fees. And where this is a huge opportunity is the fact that there are 3,300 counties for you to choose from. All of them have opportunity, but think of each county as its own little kingdom with its own rules, who doesn't allow third parties to come in and basically, exploit the business. So this is why it's such a big opportunity. And for everybody, your goal should be to get the directory, figure out where you want to invest, and become an expert in a few areas and double down and make a whole bunch of money. That should be your goal as well. So get the directory. It's in the link below. If you guys are liking us or this, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up. It looks like we got Xavier here. What's happening? Good to see you. So Xavier is, he's been with us quite a while. I think over a year, 2 years.
Maybe a year. Maybe a year. It's closer, yeah.
Yeah. So Xavier is a great example. He lives in California and he would fly to Georgia for tax deed auctions. So I'm not sure, Xavier, if you've been out there lately, but he found his own little pocket of properties and counties. So he goes out there, he hits it. And that's really what everybody here should be doing as far as finding a good area to go and find some deals. So appreciate all the comments. Warm welcome and hello to everybody who's tuning into the live. And what I always recommend is go back and watch this live stream and follow along with us. So follow along and do it for yourself so that you can get the skills. I can't stress enough how important it is to get the skills and actually do it. Like we're thrilled that you guys tune in and you watch, but if you're just watching without any action, it's in many ways kind of wasted time because you're not really progressing. And watching this content versus watching it and implementing it are two different things. And we have a lot of people who come through that we work with, that we talk to. And, a lot of them are very knowledgeable, like, oh, I've been watching videos for years, but I just haven't done a deal yet. And we know because we do surveys that most of you guys watching have not done a deal or let alone a tax lien or deed deal. So when we're showing this stuff, go and dive in because we have people who, when we're showing these properties, are doing it live in real time, finding the properties that we're showing. So that really is one of the most important things to do. And, for everybody here, we are making it our mission to be the #1 provider of tax lien and deed education to make this stuff accessible to everybody. So if you want to know where to go, how to find these deals, just pop over. We've created the best free resource. Come to taxlienschool.com. Check out our knowledge vault here. So click on the knowledge vault, and this is going to show you exactly where the tax lien and deed counties are. So anything in red is a tax deed county. We have Washington, Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Idaho, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Virginia, New York. And then the hybrid states are going to be like Texas, Georgia, South Carolina. And we also have auction calendars on here. So you can come, you can see when there's upcoming auctions. We have Florida coming up this week. Lots of good stuff in Florida, Arkansas sales. And you can just click on the map and it will show you sales that are coming up. So we've tried to make this as easy as possible. This one is coming up on the 11th. Downtown Church is going to be the auditorium. We have all of the links to the county records, the locations. We've really tried hard to put all of this stuff on a platter for you that you can go and do it. So everybody here should be coming to the site and start poking around. Like if you click on, say, for example, we're in Washington. So if you click on Washington and click learn more about it, you will come and you will see exactly all of the counties you can click on. There'll be videos on it. We see here all of the counties on the left-hand side, 39 counties. So what we've done with this is put together a resource that, I wish I would have had, and I wish we would have had when we got started. We worked so hard to get into this game and learn the lessons the hard way. And with this should be your starting point. So watch these videos, take action, but make a game plan for yourself. Hold yourself accountable. You know, we talk about this all the time in the sense of having some sort of accountability. Like, for example, myself, Corey, and Josh, we always do accountability with each other, whether it's like eating healthy or getting things done in business and having some sort of negative consequence. And I think Josh has shaved his head twice, is it?
Only one time.
Okay. So
shave the head and the beard.
Exactly.
Same day.
So we put stuff on the line, and that's what I recommend you guys do is make a bet with somebody like, hey, I'm going to call 20 tax lien counties by the end of tomorrow and find out when the auction date is. If I don't do it, I owe you $100. If I don't do it, I'm going to shave my head. You know, if you throw your backpack over the fence, you will get things done. You know, I have this disgusting onion on my desk. So when I have a big challenge, I'll be like, hey, if I don't do it, I'm going to take a bite out of this onion. And I've had to do it and I almost puked. It was absolutely horrible. But you will get things done when there is some sort of consequence. And we have to work with our psychology to make this work, right? Because the version of you watching this is not the version of you who's making money in real estate. Something is going to have to change. And the challenge is that life is fairly comfortable, but really for the most part, the average person is getting kind of financially boiled alive and they're loyal to a system that just doesn't work for them anymore. It used to be you could work hard, work overtime, and work your way up in the world. But now, you know, inflation's out of control. Your cash is turning to trash. You know, the harder you work, the less your dollar's worth. And assets like real estate are only going up in value. So it's, you know, super important to use real estate through tax liens and deeds. And that's what we're here to help you to do. So let's see here. Virginia. Oh, that's a wild picture. This is Zombie Millionaire. Virginia auction's happening now. That's super sketchy and scary. Let's see here. Somebody's saying, what could be alternative ways to set up waste system for land that doesn't perk well? Yeah, like, I don't really know what you mean. A waste system, like a garbage dump? Is that what you mean? Maybe if you could clarify that with us would help us out as well. But, you know, being creative with land that comes up at these sales is a great way to get into the business. So, you know, if you're wanting to create a waste management, we probably need a little more details to help you out there, but we can definitely do our best. So on that note, everybody, Josh, did you have something else you want to chat about?
No, all good. All good. I think we got it.
Excellent. Oh, and I see Josh's screen here right now. Let's see. How do I get back to your screen? I'm just going to boom, boom, boom. Oh, yeah. If I come over here. So check it out. So you see on our screen, this is a live auction. So we actually take people to these live auctions. And that's part of what we do. So if you've ever been on the fence or you want some one-on-one help, you can come join us at a live auction and we will take you by the hand and help you bid on these in person or online. And, you know, I know that for myself, I always mention my story that, you know, I heard about tax liens and deeds and I went to a 3-day seminar. And then 3 days after the seminar, I went and drove 12 hours to an auction and met a mentor at the sale who was at the seminar. And, you know, he was the one who took me by the hand. And when the property came up to bid on, I was absolutely terrified. I wasn't going to bid. And he knew it was a good property and literally grabbed my hand and friggin' shoved that bidding number up. He's like, buy it. It's a good deal. And, you know, I was so scared. I won the bid. And, you know, it was worth over $40,000. I bought it for $4,200, sold it for 20, made some money, and I never looked back. But for me personally, I needed somebody there to help me. Otherwise, who knows? I could have been working on the oil rig still if it weren't for that. So life has a lot of intersecting moments, and you could be at one of those right now as far as, you know, you have the choice to get into real estate or go back to doing what you're doing. And what I can tell you is with AI and the tools we have, the people who are getting into it now are literally planting the garden for their future and are going to have such an advantage that the longer you wait to get into this, the harder it's going to be later on. So the best time to start is today. So, you know, make sure grab this to get started. It's in the description below. Start reading it here today. If you want to come join us or want one of these AIs, you can schedule a free call below. You can have a chat with us. We can give you personalized help, show you what deals to avoid, pull the lists for you, just really get you going in the fastest way possible if you want some help. So that is below. On that note, thanks everybody. Make sure to check out, subscribe to the more videos, and we'll see you guys soon.
See you, everybody.
Ciao.